Hey there, and welcome to finishing off Davith Elso, Jedi Knight Extraordinaire, where first up we're going to start working on these light tones, bring the blue up. We're going to introduce mid-tones first. Here we go then, we've applied all of the mid-tones, so we've applied a middle tone grey, a middle tone blue grey, which we've just had to mix using heavy blue and cold grey. So the fabric's got that applied to it, the plates had the medium grey applied to it. I've used a light grey on the hilt of the saber. I've used dark flash on him because I wanted to be a swarthy fellow of a sort of Grecian, Arabic, Indian kind of disposition, I think. And then quite a hard dead man's flesh highlight, mid-tone. I'm going to do another layer of highlights on this, and because I haven't done it on any of the other guys, I'm going to use fluorescent paint on this one, so he's going to get a fluorescent green saber. So I want to bring this up real light, and then I'll hit it with a thin coat of fluorescent green. So the next thing to do is actual highlights. So I'm going to introduce blue grey into the fabric, so I'll introduce cold grey and maybe even white highlights as well onto the plate, and also put in his eyes as we start heading towards the finished product. But again, as you see, as it rotates, the lighting effect really is like it feels like one side is illuminated, and that's the aim of all of this. So it's quite important when you're doing this. The temptation with lighting effects is to just thinly put in a colour like a green, so you've got a green tint to the area. But before you apply that, or after you've applied that, it's still really important to re-highlight the area that the light is coming from. So you want the lit area always to have the lightest highlights, even if they're underneath a final tint, just to make it clear that one side is illuminated whereas the other side is thusly cast into shadow. Otherwise you end up with a miniature with a weird pall over one side of it, which doesn't necessarily make much sense if it's of the same tonality as the rest of the miniature, because it's like it means there's equal illumination from all around. So it's just something to bear in mind when you're doing this, is keep the side that's lit lighter than the rest of the mini. Here we go then, the final layer of highlights. So I'm using blue grey to bring all of the fabric up to the kind of blue grey colour he's illustrated at. I'm introducing white highlights into the saber's glow, cold grey into all of the plate, as well as a little speckle of white highlight into the plate. Brought his flesh up using elf skin tone, and mostly because it's just a very yellowy flesh colour, as well as applying some cold grey into the black leather of his belts as well as the plates. His hair's just had a few white highlights run through just to add a highlight really and create a bit of depth tone, sort of going for the anime style hair highlight rather than a nice even transient tone. Eyes are in, albeit me, I'm not keen on his left eye. Yeah, not keen on this left eye. On your right, the messy looking one, I botched it. So finally then, I am going to reintroduce luminous green into the highlighted areas, just to bring that lighting effect right back to the fore as being very much green. Here we go then, that's Davith Elso done with the final layer of green. So we've got this real strong cut where the luminous green has been applied. Fortunately, the fluorescent, I say luminous, I mean fluorescent, The fluoro paint is actually very thin, so you can use it much like a glaze or an ink, and it comes out pretty transparent. Arguably it could be too green, but cool paint job or not, you decide. I hope you like, and I hope that all of your painting is going really well. So whatever you may be doing, do it well. Thanks for watching, have a good one, and take care. Bye bye.